From having AIs and a completely fictional world with a complicated lore to having songs like Spicy and Drama, Aespa's change in concept has raised a few eyebrows and questions, but with the latest updates, it looks like the Kwangya concept is getting completely scrapped. Whether you like them or not, you can't deny that Aespa had one of the most creative concepts in K-pop. The cyberpunk sci-fi concept got a lot of attention as it had the 4 members and their virtual versions form a team to fight crime and defeat a villain called Black Mamba. This detailed story has sparked explanations as a metaphor about our real-life versus online identities, which has been done before by artists but not in the way that Aespa did it. The concept and their experimental sound got a lot of criticism and backlash, but in some way or another, Aespa made it work. Even though everyone made it seem like the group was flopping and that their unconventional sound was going to be their downfall, it was quite the opposite. Not only did they see unbelievable success, but also companies started taking notes, and suddenly we saw experimental sounds everywhere and even AI idols started popping out. So even though the concept was a risky choice overall, it ended up well for everyone. However, not all good things last. When Aespa released Spicy, fans thought that the group was moving away from the Kwangya concept. The song was bright, summery, and bubbly, which is something we had never seen from the group. The girls were wearing cheerleader outfits in bright colors and singing about being unapologetically themselves instead of Kwangya and villains. It gave people a whiplash since they weren't expecting this sort of concept from Aespa of all groups. But considering everything, this didn't exactly mean that they would be changing their concept, right? There are tons of groups that were known for a concept or a sound, but then ended up changing things in order to change things up a bit. In fact, transforming their concept could help broaden the audience that Aespa reached. They could have the fans that liked their Kwangya concept and attract fans that were wary of it at first. Plus, it helped a lot that the song and the mini-album were amazing, which made it easy for even more people to tune into their music. Then Drama dropped and things seemed to have changed. While it was definitely tied to Kwangya, the concept was dialed down a lot. The AIs didn't appear in any of the music videos and Kwangya wasn't mentioned anywhere, which was the case for all their releases up to that point. So this made fans question whether Aespa was done with the Kwangya concept once and for all, and maybe they released Spicy to test the public reaction to a non-Kwangya concept and then released Drama to see how a darker concept with a few Kwangya elements would work. Everything could be possible, and to some, the concept change made a lot of sense. Even Ning Ning said something that sort of confirmed that the girls may be done with their alter egos and fighting with the Black Mamba for good. At a fan sign event, a fan asked Ning Ning to sing a cover of Run, just like she did in a video before her debut, but this time the fan wanted Ning Ning to sing it without using her AI version. To this, Ning Ning replied, "There's no AI Ning Ning now." So what does this mean? Well, one of the reasons that they could be dropping their concept could be because of Kakao. As you might know, Kakao is the largest shareholder in SM Entertainment, and since they already have an AI group, they might have convinced the company to drop the concept so that Maeve, Kakao's group, has no competition. Kakao has been known to play dirty, so making the company drop the original concept for their own gain doesn't sound too out of pocket for them. Kakao had already been accused of sabotaging Aespa in the past, as fans alleged that they delayed and deleted Drama's pre-orders since they were in charge of distributing the albums. In addition to this, Maeve, Kakao's AI group, just had a comeback with their song What's My Name. In the music video, a billboard of the movie Tetris, which includes a song by Aespa on its soundtrack, can be seen in the background. Is this random or a sign that something is happening to Aespa's alter egos? Another theory, and perhaps more believable, is that by letting go of the Kwangya concept, SM is trying to erase every influence of Lee Soo Man from the company. The storyline for Aespa's Kwangya SMCU was largely shaped by Lee Soo Man's vision and Yoo Youngjin's input, but both of them have departed from SM now. They left on bad terms too, so it wouldn't be surprising if the people in charge now would want to scrape their idea and shape Aespa into a group that would be different from what Lee Soo Man and Yoo Youngjin had in mind for them. Well, looking at the lyrics that Lee Soo Man had in mind for Drama, we can't really blame anyone. The lyrics literally said, "Wind, sunlight, water, we're gonna add what we already have and plant a tree," so it's normal if they wanted to have none of it in the future. The last possible explanation is pretty simple actually. SM made them change their concept to appeal to more people. The Kwangya concept was already considered way too weird for the general public, and it even turned off some people from standing them. Not to mention, as it's been 3 years since they debuted, so people could see why they would want to change their concept and move on to a more mature sound. In addition to that, doing the same concept over and over again would make some people see them as boring and not creative, so there's a chance that SM Entertainment decided to change it up and make things more general public friendly. Some people even argued that their main concept really held them back and made it unable for them to show their true skills and talents. It's also a very complex concept to maintain and expand, and well, we know how good SM is at sticking to one concept, the amount of groups that had their own unique lore and then ended up abandoning it because SM were too lazy to go on had a lot of fans surprised that Aespa went on with the concept for more than 2 comebacks. On the other hand, they would gain nothing from changing their concept. Sure, appealing to a larger audience can get them new listeners and fans, but Aespa's identity and even group name revolved around the lore, so after dropping it, Aespa wouldn't really be Aespa anymore. Their unique sound and the AI concept is what set them apart from other groups in their generation and what started setting trends for other companies and groups that came after that. Of course, the girls are talented to pull off every concept, but the one they had was already so unique that it didn't make sense for them to distance themselves from it. Getting rid of the concept just so Aespa can release music that every other group is releasing would be bad for them in any way you look at it. This is why some people are convinced that Aespa didn't change their concept whatsoever, but are in fact further exploring it. If you've been following the lore, you might be aware that Aespa defeated the Black Mamba, so following the story, the girls have no reason to be at Kwangya. After all, they went to Kwangya to defeat Black Mamba, so now that they completed their journey, they went back to the real world. Their concept still holds many elements from their Kwangya journey, such as the lettering and upside-down visuals, so it's obvious that the concept hasn't changed all that much. Not to mention that Welcome to My World showed Navis, and their teasers hinted at a strange phenomenon occurring in the real world after they returned from Kwangya. This is probably a result of their journey in between 2 worlds and shows how Kwangya is leaking into the real world and causing discrepancies to the reality that they know. In fact, the entire theme of Spicy is about the girls ignoring the chaos happening around them, which the music hinted at with the flickering lights, the glitching background, and the people around them stopping in time. The alter ego of Winter is also seen texting the girls in the music video, so there's that. In addition to everything, the group is known to occasionally release content that doesn't exactly match their particular concept, like they did with Life's Too Short and Dreams Come True. The music video and the quote-unquote normal concept just shows the girls' life in the real world, as we hadn't had the chance to see that throughout Aespa's career. It's just like those video games where you fight and beat the main boss, enter a side quest, and then go back to fighting the main boss. As for Ning Ning saying, like, there's no AI Ning Ning now, it could just mean that AI Ning Ning just wasn't at the fan meet at the moment. They've continued using their AI versions in collaborations this year, including video games, but they might not be so present because they're choosing to focus on the real-world aspect. So while they tone down all the AI, Kwangya, sync stuff on their music videos and lyrics, it doesn't mean that they completely ditched their concept. If they really wanted to drop the concept, they could have stopped after the members defeated the Black Mamba and wouldn't have bothered with all the references in Spicy, as well as animating the entire Better Things music video for the AIs. Considering all this, it seems like SM is going to be sticking to this concept for a while, whether the public reception is good or not, so start brushing up on your Kwangya lore before Aespa make their next comeback. You might want to keep up with this stuff, but it's definitely expected that the group will have multiple releases not related to Kwangya as well. Do you think Aespa should change their concept or not? Share your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching.